Hello, everyone. We have 2 minutes. One person waiting, 2 minutes before we begin the reading of Muhammad Ali, 12 Rounds to Glory. So just hang out, and I'll be back in 2 minutes. What's up, everyone? It is 10 o'clock. I'm going to give a couple more minutes just in case if anybody else is going to be showing up. I advertise it, and who knows how many people will be coming. It doesn't really matter the number of folks that are here live because I will archive this, but it is recording and it is 10 o'clock. So I'm just going to give a couple more minutes in case if anybody's trying to check in or wanting to see what's up. But shortly, I will be reading from and performing from my first award-winning book, 12 Rounds to Glory. Earned me, boom, this award, my first Coretta Scott King Award, which was for writing this book with illustrations by Brian Collier. And he killed it. He's won plenty of Coretta Scott King Awards himself. So it was an honor and a pleasure to have him do the artwork for the book. So settle in. I say I'll get started at 10:03. A little odd number, but that's just 2 minutes away. So just keep hanging out and I'll get started in just a couple of minutes. In the meantime, if you got to do something, get some water, get coffee, whatever you need to do, settle in. And when my clock right now says 10:01, when it says 10:03, then I will begin reading from 12 Rounds to Glory. And yes, this is my office. These are my books. These are the books that inspire me, and these are my books that I have done. So I'll be pulling off this shelf to read my work throughout the next coming weeks, throughout the month of April. So you'll get to learn my bookshelf. There's all kind of cool stuff there that inspires me, and so you get to take a look-see. In the meantime, we got about 1 minute. So enjoy. I wanted to make sure everything was set up and looks good. Light looks good. Sound quality seems good. Got a nice little microphone there. Got my water to keep me hydrated. And before we know it, we'll get started. So sit tight. Be right back real quick. All right. Clock says 10:03. I see 2 people are in the mix. I see one person. Hey, Kika, again. I love that you're following what I'm doing. That's great. Make sure you spread the word to your friends, family, anybody who can get access to YouTube, because I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you on the other stuff that I do. But with that, let's get started. 12 Rounds to Glory, the story of Muhammad Ali. Now, this book is 12 rounds or chapters. Because of licensing issues, meaning my publisher, I cannot just read the whole book. I would not want to just read the whole book because I want you to go buy the book or check it out from a library. But nonetheless, I'm going to be reading the heart of the book, which in essence is going to be 6 to 7 rounds or chapters. So with that, let's get started. 12 Rounds to Glory. Round 1, the Golden Child. Quote, I always felt like God made Muhammad special, but I don't know why God chose me to carry this child, said Odessa Clay, Cassius Clay's mother. Bathed in beautiful light from parental love, brown skin shimmers with the glow from above. In 1942, the 17th of January, you entered the world in Louisville, Kentucky. Whites-only stores and whites-only parks sifted you out because you were dark. No Negroes allowed, and no colored signs created separate worlds and drew color lines. But your middle-class parents managed to survive through hard work and faith and were able to provide you, their first child, and your little brother later with food, shelter, clothing, and something much greater. Love that was passed to you from day one. Love that was passed to you, the new son of Mother Odessa and Father Cassius Clay, who also passed the torch of your name that birthday. Passed down to you from a white farmer who inherited a plantation and your great-grandfather too. But Clay freed his 40 slaves during America's dark days, then fought to end slavery and fought to change ways and laws and thinking deep in the South, using newspapers, knives, fists, and his mouth. He fought with the spirit that lives in you today, reflected in your name, Cassius Marcellus Clay, reflecting love from your parents who had faith and belief that God would watch over you and provide inner strength. And there's the beautiful picture by Brian Collier of a baby Cassius Clay. So in that round, we basically learned where Cassius Clay got his name. That was his name before he became Muhammad Ali. Round 2. Let's take the little tag out. Igniting the flame. Quote, Daddy, I go to the grocery store and the grocery man is white. I go to the drugstore and the drugstore man's white. The bus driver's white. What do the colored people do? Asked Cassius Clay, age 5. Like father, like son, you try to charm everyone. A tail-spinning performer holding court on your porch, only 8 years old, already carrying the torch. A fire-filled speech used to brag, joke, and preach to anyone who would listen, to anyone within reach. The skill you would use later in life to taunt your opponents and draw crowds to your fights. But first, we begin with the story of a bike, a brand new, shiny Schwinn, red and white, ridden by you, young Cassius Clay, to a fair one fine day. But that fine day turned instantly gray when you noticed your bike was stolen away. A moment that changed your life in one day. With tears in your eyes, you wanted somebody to pay. You found a cop and went on to say, I'm going to whoop whoever it was that stole my bike. First, kid, the cop replied. First, kid, you have to learn how to fight. And fight you did at the age of 12, taught by that cop, awaiting your first bell. After 6 short weeks, you won by a decision of 2 out of 3 judges. And to all who would listen, you declared your goal to be greatest of all time. Mighty words uttered from a thin 89-pound kid who put a goal into motion by tackling your training with discipline and devotion. Mornings began, rise and shine at 4 a.m. for workout time. A quart of milk and 2 raw eggs you guzzled for energy to power your legs. You trained and ran and ran and trained before school and after, again and again, believing that boxing would bring to you the life of your dreams because you knew too many black men with degrees in education who couldn't get work due to racist separation. Your eyes witnessed men who drowned their frustration by drinking and smoking and partying all night. You used your frustration to stoke fire for fights. That was round 2. So we're going to skip round 3, but I'm going to let you know what's going on in the story. So in round 3, at this point, Cassius Clay, after round 2, basically we learned that he's a young kid who's just beginning to take up boxing. Well, he continued taking up boxing. And by the time we reach round 3, he has not only gone to the Olympics, he has become a gold medalist in the Olympics. And he returns home. So he enjoys his Olympic experience in Rome, Italy. He's treated as a champion, regardless of his color. But his frustrations come to the front when he returns home, and he is still treated as a second-class citizen because he is Black in America, a country that still practices segregation. Segregation means basically separation. So Blacks can do only things with Black people. Whites can only do things with other white people. And this caused a frustration because he won the gold medal for the United States of America, not just for Black people, not just for the white. So we're going to advance to round 4, where he begins his championship training. So he's been fighting for a little bit now. He's a professional, but he's still Cassius Clay, but he's still moving up the ladder. So he decides to put to use a weapon that would become something that he was known for, his mouth. So that's the title of this round. Now, this round also has what we call fight sequences. So there's going to be some changes of voices. So I'll let you know when the voices change right before. Round 4, Mighty Mouth. Quote, I am the greatest. I shook up the world. I don't have a mark on my face. I'm pretty. I'm a bad man. You must listen to me. I can't be beat. I'm the prettiest thing that ever lived, said Cassius Clay in the ring upon winning his first heavyweight title. Round 4, Mighty Mouth. Louisville leaps to life just a few short years after your first pro fight, bragging and boasting and calling around, signifying how your opponent would go down. One by one by one, they all fell. Each time you were victorious at the ding-ding of each bell. Each victory you crept closer to Sonny Liston, the champion for title and money. Sonny Liston, an ex-con, armed felon, cop beater who destroyed his opponents and bulldozed his way to the top of the ladder in the heavyweight division. Taking his title was your ultimate mission as you focused your energy, confidence, and vision. From Chicago to Denver, long before the fight, you arrived on Sonny's lawn and taunted him one night, saying, come out of that door or I'm going to break it down. Leaving a lasting impression of you as a clown, leaving a lasting impression of you as a madman, an impression you performed as part of your plan. From that night on, all the way to weigh-in, you taunted and teased to get under his skin, screaming to any and all who would listen, destruction and hate of that chump Sonny Liston. White writers wrote words and scribes scribbled script of Liston silencing your big mouth with one hit, hoping their Negro would put you in your place by shutting you up and uglying your face. Your dressing room crackled with electricity while you, Malcolm X, and your younger brother Rudy knelt facing east, praying to Allah to give you strength for your battle in the belly of the beast, praying for strength against the mountain of a man you called a big angry bear, taunting words used to motivate you to fight because you were scared. But with Allah as your guide, your spirit inside glowed with the fire as the big moment arrived. Quote, if God's with me, can nobody be against me? Cassius Clay. Okay. Now it's the fight. So the voice is going to change to the radio, not the radio announcer, but the announcer in the auditorium as the fight is going to happen. Okay, February 25th, 1964 in Miami, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Miami, Florida for the heavyweight championship of the world. In this corner, the challenger from Louisville, Kentucky, wearing the white trunks with the red trim, weighing in at 210 and 1/2 pounds, age 22, standing at 6 feet 3 inches, the former Olympic light heavyweight champion, Cassius Clay. Boo! That's right, the fans booed him. And his opponent from Denver, Colorado, weighing 218 pounds, wearing the black trunks with white trim, standing at 6 feet 1 inch, age 31, the heavyweight champion of the world, Charles Sonny Liston. Yay! Remember, he was a champ, so he was a favorite. Clay versus Liston for the World Heavyweight Boxing title. Good luck, gentlemen. Now we switch voices again to the announcer. We keep with the announcer, but now it's the play-by-play announcer. Ding, ding. Clay comes out, circling the ring. Sonny steps and steps and steps and zing. His left jab catches air as Clay disappears, circling, ducking, bobbing, and weaving, bouncing on toes with speed so deceiving that jabs from Liston only destroy air as young Clay dances at will around the ring like a fleet-footed cat, eluding a dog until a rock-solid right ripples Clay's flesh from a brown leathered fist and vibrates his chest, shaking and quaking Clay's heart, rattling and rippling ribs in their cage, splitting muscle fibers apart. But Clay is unflinching. He steps in closer, grabs Sonny, then hooks him by his right shoulder and pushes him out to set Sonny up with a long left jab in the face, then ducks a left, a right, and a left hooking fist swung from a meat rack that mightily misses Clay's head by a mile, using speed and style. Young Cassius Clay dances away, then lets fly a flurry of fists. Right, left, right, left, right, left combo. Shots to the head with crisp snap and sting from brown leather gloves that drop pain on Liston like bombs from above. As the first round ends with the sound of ding, ding, ending the assault of Liston in the ring. As the fight goes on, Clay continues to bring the pain to Liston while boxing with spring and bouncing feet, then stop, start, stop to set up punches that pop, pop, pop to the face, to the chin, to the chest, to the gut, back to the face, left, right, opens a cut under Liston's left eye, then bloodies the nose of Sonny, the champ, as Clay dances on his toes. But Sonny charges in, intent on devastation, swinging a wrecking ball right that wobbles the foundation of the challenger, Clay, who bounces away quickly on instinct, then puts on a display of dazzling speed and imposes his will with a barrage of blows to Liston until, at the start of round 5, hold on, folks, something is wrong. Clay is seated in his corner too long. All right, so now we're changing voice again. We're going back to the narrator voice, which is the original voice, which is like it's speaking directly to Muhammad Ali. And if you've ever had me speak in your school, you know that this is a round that I perform. So I'm going to perform the end of the round. Some sort of substance caught you by surprise as Liston's gloves brushed across your eyes, voiding your vision, singeing your sight, motivating you to stop the fight. I can't see, cut off the gloves, you shout to a figure hovering above, an old pro named Angelo who brought cool and eliminated fear. He first rinsed your eyes, then swabbed your tears, calmed you down, then shouted in your ear, "This is the big one, Daddy. We're not quitting now. Just stay away from him and run." A decisive moment that defined your character as you stepped up and spun back into battle, blind in your eyes with visions of gaining world heavyweight prize. Measuring Sonny with your left arm out from a safe distance kept you in the bout, just long enough for your eyes to clear, just long enough for you to hear the sound of the bell ending the round, giving you confidence to take Sonny down. War raged on until a crucial decision at the start of the 7th when Liston threw the towel in, ending the fight, making you heavyweight champion that night. A victory cheered by only a few, because prior to the fight, there were white writers who insulted, degraded, and dismissed you as a clown, a windbag, and uppity nigger too. Cassius Clay, age 22, the new heavyweight champion on full view. You silenced them all from center stage. Gloves high, mouth open, shouting with glorious rage. Eat your words! Eat your words! I am the king! I am the king of the world! That was round 4. Let's keep going. Hope you like that. Round 5. Black Star Rising. How can I kill somebody when I pray 5 times a day for peace? Quote Muhammad Ali. 1964. You were king of the hill. Still, no respect was given after you snatched your crown, because word on the street was you was down with black Muslims in the Nation of Islam, therefore down with angry black radicals, therefore down with angry black radicals who carried guns, therefore down with angry black radicals who carried guns and defied authority, therefore a radical threat. Heavyweight champion down with Malcolm X? You shed your slave name of Cassius Clay, giving birth to a new belief, an Islamic religion reflected in your name when reborn as Muhammad Ali, a Muslim name meaning worthy of praise, high exalted one. You sacrificed your champion status to practice the teachings of Islam, sacrificing your soul to the will of Allah, your sacrifice supported by 5 sturdy pillars. Shahada, which means declaration of faith. Salat, which means prayer 5 times a day. Zakat, which means charity to man. Siyam, which means fasting from dawn to sundown to cleanse the soul during the month of Ramadan. And Hajj, which means a pilgrimage to Mecca, the Holy Land. Pillars introduced to you by way of a man you met on the street who was called Captain Sam. He introduced to you the teachings and plan of Elijah Muhammad to help all blacks stand up against racism dealt by white hands. In Miami, in a mosque, the Muslim house of worship, Brother John, the preacher, spit fire from his lips about inherited slave names with no sense of black ancestry, leading to an erasure of racial identity. Finally, someone spoke to you directly, saying progress would come by any means necessary, a message you embraced with your soul faithfully as you joined to serve Elijah honorably. Elijah the messenger fed the teachings of the nation to hungry black souls filled with years of frustration, souls stung by hate since the days of the plantation, souls beaten like animals in savage humiliation. Your soul became alive with the swelling of black pride, feeding fire you ignited from self-love deep inside. A fire you spread to other black folk who looked up to you, even as some wrote you off as a racist filled with hatred, respected and rejected for your outspoken nature. But in 1967, when called to serve your country at war in Vietnam, you said no to the army, refusing to fight an unknown enemy for a country that treated you with anger and hostility. For an unknown cause, you refused to kill and simply stood still when your name was called to step forward and serve. You stood all alone with great courage and nerve, because faith in Allah and faith in your religion of Islam kept you from war. An undying faith soothed your soul with relief as you said no to war for religious beliefs. Your refusal to fight in the war in Vietnam made the U.S. government use you as a pawn and put you, the greatest, into your place, stripping you of your boxing license in all 50 states. They then snatched your title and said you disgraced the American name using your boxing fame to play the religion card in a patriotic game of war. Your sentence for saying no, locked up for 5 years behind prison doors. 5 years never served because of your request for an appeal, which provided you with time to try the case again. But still you couldn't climb back into the ring to fight to make money because you spoke out and defied your own country. You gave up your life, but showed what you stood for when Allah moved your spirit to say no to war. Undefeated in the ring and outside a hero. Score: U.S. government 1, Muhammad Ali 0. So we're going to skip round 6. That's basically the time period that Muhammad Ali is not fighting. To make money during that time period and to draw attention to his plight, he basically traveled around the country speaking at different colleges. The students were very receptive because they were also speaking out against the Vietnam War because they didn't understand why we were there in the first place. So as Muhammad Ali spoke around the country, he developed a name for himself outside of boxing because people began to see him as somebody who sacrificed his career to do what he felt was right. So round 6 is called the politics of peace, and that's what it has to do with. Then round 7, we're also going to skip this round 2. It's a rather long round, but this is the first fight when he fights. This is when he finally comes back to fighting. And he starts up with what we call a couple of tune-up fights, meaning easier fights to kind of get back in the groove because he hadn't fought for a couple of years at that point. So think about that. Think of your favorite athlete right now. Think of somebody like a LeBron James or somebody like that who's at the top of their career, and because they decide against something going into the war, and that keeps them from being able to do their sport for the next couple of years. That'd be a very tough situation for many people, but Muhammad Ali did that. And that's part of the reason his name became synonymous with, that's part of the reason he became an icon, because of him standing up. So round 7 is basically when he comes back into the fight game. He's starting to get some smaller tune-up fights, and then he ends up fighting Joe Frazier. Now, he and Joe Frazier are like the Yankees and the Red Sox. They kind of need each other to push each other to the next level. And Joe Frazier actually knocked out Muhammad Ali to become the heavyweight champion of the world, even as Muhammad Ali worked his way back up to that position. So Joe basically took that away from him. So that caused a lot of friction between the two of them. And they would fight multiple times throughout the years. So now we go to round 8. That is another fight round, meaning there's a fight at the center of the round. So in this one, it's called round 8, the bull meets the matador. So a bull obviously charges the matador. The matador is the person holding the red cape. And the matador's job is to basically taunt the bull into tiring them out so they can do what they want. So keep that in mind. Round 8, the bull meets the matador. You think the world was shocked when Nixon resigned? This is a quote. Wait till I whoop George Foreman's behind. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. His hands can't hit what his eyes can't see. Now you see me, now you don't. George thinks he will, but I know he won't. I done wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with the whale. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick. That was Muhammad Ali promoting his fight with George Foreman. Back to Africa to reclaim your stolen crown in the country of Zaire for the heavyweight showdown of you versus George. Foreman, the champ, who took the crown from Frazier but never battled you. Battling for a title taken so long ago, your fight versus Foreman got dubbed a rumble in the jungle. Returning to roots to take your belt back in the ring, you return to the roots of warrior kings, whose roots in return burrowed into your blood, your soul, and your spirit too, when African voices shouted your name with a nip-tongue chant as you stepped out of the plane. Ali Boumaye, Ali Boumaye. Words when translated to English say, Ali, kill him, Ali, kill him. Making you the hero, making Foreman the villain, making you the people's champ because you were willing to stand up to your country and say no to war, showing eyes worldwide what champs stood for: pride, strength, and courage without fear that showed your faith in Islam was deep and sincere. Your faith in Allah glowed like a light, burning within to stoking fire to fight against ferocious Foreman, a bull of a man who destroyed opponents with bone-smashing hands that hammered at flesh, tearing muscles apart. Friends feared that Foreman would tear you apart. But the rumble in the jungle missed his first fight date when a cut to Foreman's eye caused a 35-day wait, providing extra time for you to prepare and rally Africans across the country of Zaire. Underdog Ali is not the fighter he used to be. He can't float like a butterfly. He can't sting like a bee. He can't move quite as fast, can't dance anymore. Foreman will flatten his face to the floor, reported reporters and scribbled scribes. Several picked round one for your demise, but only you knew you had a surprise. A matador plan that began with quick beat that would dance, circles around the bull while setting up your hands to stab and jab and stick into Foreman's face. Quick, quick, quick. But Foreman practiced too and listened to you tell note takers taking notes what you would do. So his plan was to cut off the ring, catch you and corner you on the ropes, then free swing at head, at base, at body and sides with determined destruction that could hospitalize you, a fighter, father, husband, and black man. But no one knew you had a surprise. Foreman would be the bull and you the matador, trying to tame an animal to reclaim what was yours. Okay. We're splitting up the voices again, so now we're going back into a fight round. Or since this is a fight round, we're going to the actual fight. So we're going to the fight announcer's voice. October 30th, 1974, Kinshasa, Zaire, Africa. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Zaire. We are here to witness the battle for the heavyweight championship of the world. Each fighter will receive a handsome prize of $5 million. And now, in this corner, weighing in at 216 pounds from Louisville, Kentucky, at 32 years of age, with a record of 44 wins, 31 by knockout with 2 losses, wearing the white trunks with the black trim, Muhammad Ali. Ali Boumaier. Ali Boumaier. And in this corner, weighing in at 220 pounds from Marshall, Texas, at 25 years of age, with a record of 40 wins, 37 by knockout, with no losses, wearing the red trunks with the white trim, George Foreman. Boo! Now, even though George was the champ, Ali, as you saw, had been working his way around the country and got close to the natives. So they were cheering for him. Okay, it's still the announcer's voice. Gleaming golden prince bounces feet in ring, stops, raises glove, bows head in prayer, turns to Foreman. Ding, ding. Muhammad the Matador sweeps across the ring, left to right, right to left, shuffling and circling. Foreman the Bull, who walks into a left-right combo to the forehead like a red cape in flight. Charging and charging and charging, the Bull comes in on the Matador, who takes the Bull by the horns. The Matador lassos the Bull in his grip, tying him up while shooting off his lip, shouting, "Come on, George, I thought you could hit." The nose-snorting, bone-smashing Bull focuses force, emerging from the grip to throw the Matador on the ropes, slashing hooks to the body that tear into sides, shooting shots into the Matador that shake organs inside, chattering teeth and quivering heart, taking tightly wound muscle fibers and ripping them apart. But the Matador bounces side to side and up and down on the ropes, absorbing blows until ding, ding ends the round. Now that's the end of the announcer's voice. Now it's back to the narrator's voice. Breathe, relax, relax, and breathe. The nightmare that has haunted you is now reality. Yes, Foreman is strong. Yes, Foreman hits hard, but nothing can hurt you when strengthened by God. The time is now to not think about you, but what the power of winning the title belt can do. Uplift Black people living on welfare. Uplift Black people with no knowledge of self. Uplift Black people who can't afford to eat. Uplift Black people sleeping on concrete. Uplifting all people by taking your title into the streets. But first you must focus. Focus and beat the big bad bull by becoming God's tool. Eyes focused, no fear as you rise up from the stool. Turning to the crowd, waving your fist in the air, inciting African brothers in the country of Zaire to scream, to shout, to chant, and say. And now we go back into the fight announcer's voice. Ali Boumaier, Ali Boumaier. Ladies and gentlemen, this is quite a display. Just as Ali's chances in the fight look slim, the people of Zaire chant, Ali, kill him. The second round begins with the bad sign as the bull charges in and the matador finds the ropes brushing against his back as the bull goes on the attack, sending swift fist bricks into his sides with a thwack. But the matador sways like a sail in the breeze, grabbing the bull by the horns, pulling him closer to tease. Is that all you got? Is that all you got? Absorbing brick after brick, taking shot after shot, infuriating the bull, making his eyes see blood red, moving shots to the body, up top to the head. Round after round, the bull continues to pound, free swinging fist, hoping to knock down a loudmouth matador swinging on the ropes, but the free swinging bull becomes an outfoxed dope. As the matador's fists become a red cape to steer the bull around the ring, his power disappears from chasing and charging and huffing and puffing. The once mighty bull is now a slow motion shuffling, wild punching, air slicing, bull hitting nothing. Finally, the matador rises off the ropes, concluding the lesson in the art of rope-a-dope. With just 30 seconds to go in round 8, the matador moves in as the bull awaits his fate. Now we move to another voice, the voice of Muhammad Ali speaking to himself. Toro, 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 let's go. You big ugly bull. Now this is my show. I prayed to Allah to give me hope, and he answered my prayer when I roped you, dope. There's going to be one man standing at the end of this bout, and that'll be me when I knock you out. Chump, you thought I was tired? You thought I couldn't fight? Well, deal with this, sucker. Deal with this right. Thrown over your shoulder. What, you thought I was through? Sucker, I'm faster, smarter, and prettier than you. So deal with these fists smacking your ugly face. I'm taking you down for the crown to represent my black race. All I got to do is finish you. So here's a right to the jaw, corkscrewing you too. The mat on your back. You're done, sucker. You're through. 8th round knockout. Ali wins. Ali wins. Back to the narrator's voice. A knockout by you in the 8th round. Topple Big Bad Bull to reclaim your stolen crown, completing a journey that spanned 7 years, filled with love, blood, sweat, and tears. A journey completed in a moment of sheer, inspiring glory amidst Warrior King cheers. So now we're going to skip round 9. Round 9 is basically a rematch with with Joe Frazier, which Ali would ultimately go on to win. But they took each other to the brink, and Ali really eked out a victory in that fight. So now we jump ahead to round 10. So we're moving further into Muhammad Ali's life when he is on the other side of his career. Basically, he's still doing pretty good, but now he's not as invincible as he used to be. And so the world wants to see him fight better fighters. Round 10, going the distance. Quote, every morning when I wake up, as long as I live, whether the sun is shining or it's raining or snowing, I'll be 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. That's worth taking some pain and hurt, said Muhammad Ali before his rematch with fighter Leon Spinks. Koopman, Shavers, and Young, Evangelista, and Dunn, boxers you boxed with in fights easily won. But the fights were dull and boring to see. The world only wanted to watch you, Ali, come out and win and put on a good show. But your choice of challengers was notches below. Liston, Frazier, Foreman, and Ken, Norton, who you battled again for the 3rd time through, a full 15 to win. You knew you weren't young, but you still had the desire to regale in the ring and feed hungry fire. So your search continued for a slow, easy foe to provide a big payday and maintain your glow. A search that led you to young Leon Spinks, fresh, easy money, or so you would think. His 7-fight pro career brought little ink, but an Olympic gold medal put him on the brink of stardom so that this fresh-faced pro would step into the ring to become your next foe. But Leon was lightly regarded by you, so as an untested young fighter and inexperienced and new, waging war in the ring against you, the champ who wrestled with alligators and tussled with whales, said no to your government in war and prevailed. To you, Leon posed no threat to possess your belt, so you ate more and trained less. Weighing in for the fight at your heaviest yet, the stage was set for an unforgettable upset. Age 36, you stepped back into the ring to fight a 24-year-old kid at Ding Ding. Lumbering slowly over 15 rounds, you sat on the ropes waiting for Spinks to wear down, but you outfoxed yourself and never quite found the energy needed to defend your crown. Battling and fighting until the bitter end, fighting off youth, no longer your friend. Fighting off Spinks, hoping to win the fight by knockout or judge's decision. But the knockout never came before the final bell rang, and the decision by the judges ended your reign, making young Leon Spinks the new heavyweight champ, taking the title from you. In an embarrassing loss that saw Spinks earn the belt, forcing you to shout, "I shall return." Next night after the fight, 2 a.m., under a streetlight, you shadowboxed on the attack, shouting, "Gotta get my title back, gotta get my title back." You bounced and ran at an exhausting pace in the chilled air of February, hoping to erase your memory of the loss and gain your ultimate place as first 3-time champ to occupy space in history books. The whole world took notice of your rematch just 7 months after, hoping to observe past glory recaptured. Eyes worldwide witnessed a repeat of the first bout as you won by decision, but left little doubt that the time had come to stop and get out before Father Time could score a knockout of a fighter now slowed but still filled with fire. So 9 months later, you, the greatest, retired. Oops. So round 11 is basically a round where we get to see all of the outside forces. I'm not going to share this round, but basically we get to see all the outside forces surrounding Muhammad Ali at this point in his career. He is no longer the champ. He is retired. And one thing that I learned in researching boxers is that it's not uncommon for them when they step out of the spotlight that all of the people that were around them or were friends with them disappear. And unfortunately, that was also the case with Muhammad Ali, because unfortunately, a lot of these people around the champ sponge off the champ. They take things from them. They prop them up. You're the best champ. You're the greatest champ. You're awesome. You know, and Muhammad Ali couldn't say no to anyone. He had a really big heart, but many of the people around him took advantage of him, took advantage of the situation by taking money from him and getting him involved in business decisions that did not work out for him. So that's what round 11 focuses on. But ultimately what we learn is he knows that many people are taking advantage of him, but he feels that they need help. And so he feels, who am I to say no to helping these people? So we get to the final round, round 12, called Muhammad on the Mountain. Quote, "God gave me Parkinson's syndrome to show me I'm not the greatest. He is. To show me I have human frailties like everybody else. That's all I am, a man." Quote, Muhammad Ali in 1987, which ironically was the year I graduated high school. Outside of the ring, you were a husband and father of 8 lovely children, 1 son, 7 daughters. Your first wife, Sonyi, you met when you found the light of Allah and won your first title crown. But the Islamic religion is filled with tradition, and strict rules for Sonyi filled your marriage with friction. Belinda became wife number 2, a majestic Muslim who shared the same faith as you, bearing Maryam, the twins, Rashida and Jamila, and Mohammed Jr. But then came Veronica, last name Porch, like a car, a beauty who shined like a star, splendidly sparkling and shimmering in your eyes, leading to the demise of your marriage to Belinda Ali, soon making Veronica wife number 3. She added 2 branches to your family tree, Hannah and Layla, like you, so pretty. But years in the ring began to wage war, inside your body by slurring your once mighty words and trembling your fist of victory. The world began to wonder, what's wrong with Ali? And this struck a blow to marriage number 3. Health questions and more ultimately brought a divorce to Veronica and you. Now left alone, briefly in life, no ring, no glory, no entourage, nor wife. You searched for someone to share the love in your heart. The search ended with Yolanda, who brought a fresh start to your life by turning a long friendship into a beautiful marriage that fulfilled you. Yolanda, Lonnie Williams, was from Louisville too, 14 years younger, but a smart woman who met you when she was just a little girl, when you became the heavyweight champ of the world. Your friendship with Lonnie began long ago and provided a strong base for your relationship to grow, closing a circle of loves in your life as Lonnie saw you evolve through each wife and saw you mature over time with 3 women, 2 of whom bore you 6 lovely children. Later came 2 more children who were born out of wedlock but were still loved by you. 4 wives, 8 children, all given your love strengthened by faith and power above, a faith that has you 5 times a day on knees, head bowed, to worship and pray to the light of Allah to guide you in life with comfort and peace through trouble and strife. From Louisville loudmouth with a great gift of rhyme to a beautiful black prince who freely spoke his mind, to a draft-dodging champ who firmly declined to take part in war during segregated times. You stepped up to challenge authority with superior strength when blacks were treated as inferior. You stepped up to voice what most could not say because the light of Islam guided your way and strengthened your conviction as you took a stand, putting your faith into Allah's hands. But just what is faith? How is it defined? Is it love? Is it trust in a spirit so divine? Is it something you can touch? Is it something you can feel? Is it confidence in the truth? Is it acceptance of God's will? For each person, faith may be many things, but faith in Allah for you seemed to bring peace, love, conviction, and pride, displaying throughout your life and witnessed worldwide. Known as the greatest for your great boxing skill, your strength was now tested by the strength of God's will. When the answer to the question, what's wrong with Ali, was diagnosed as what turned out to be Parkinson's syndrome, a condition in you that slows your walk, slurs your speech, and shakes your limbs too. Your feet can still shuffle and your mind is still sharp, but the sight of you shaking breaks many a heart. Was it too many punches, too many blows to the head, to the body that made your motor skills slow? No one will know for sure, but still, your life was a ride that gave many a thrill. Through highs, through lows, up and down and nonstop, all eyes were on you when the thrill ride reached the top of the magical mountain in 1996 on stage in Atlanta to open the Olympics. With vigorously vibrating limbs you raised high, a flame that represented your faith to the sky. Holding the Olympic torch with the warrior spirit, you reignited memories of the champ who never quit in the ring, in life, using substance and smile, now a gentle gladiator with a sparkling smile. You lit the Olympic cauldron, glowing golden in the night, and became a supernova, bathed in beautiful light. The end. So I hope you enjoyed that reading of 12 Rounds to Glory, the story of Muhammad Ali. I hope you came away with a new appreciation for what he achieved and accomplished in his life. It was a big inspiration. He was a big inspiration for me as a kid growing up. I used to watch his fights with my father, and that cemented our connection. And so we bonded over watching Muhammad Ali fight, as many fathers and sons and daughters and fathers and family members did throughout the years. So I hope you enjoyed it. Coming up in the next Read Aloud will be the very first Black heavyweight champion in boxing, Jack Johnson. This one is a much shorter book. It hasn't won me any awards, but this one, ironically enough, is one of my most popular books when I speak in schools because I do the whole story from my head. I perform it. It's a lot shorter, but I'll be sharing the pictures. And more than anything, the book will be available to purchase with a signature from me. So check that out on Thursday, April 16th, 10 a.m. right here on YouTube Live again. I hope you enjoyed this. I have plenty more read alouds coming, so keep your eyes peeled. And in the meantime, check out 12 Rounds to Glory and Blackjack. So that's it. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you all. In the stream now. Are you sure? I am sure.